Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second shelf and to a new type of video. I've had major FOMO, fear of missing out, because so many booktubers and friends of mine do BookHaul Revisits, so in which they look at the book haul, a year ago and see whether or not they have read the books that they bought. And I wanted to, but I didn't know really how. And my book hauls are sporadic. That's for one. And also sometimes I only haul 3 books. I don't know. But then, as many of you know, and thank you for all your best wishes and congratulations, last week was my 6-year anniversary on BookTube. And I thought that this occasion would be a good occasion to look at the books that I hauled through those 6 years. And I have to say, in the beginning, I started in May 2016, and in the first year and a half, I didn't do book hauls. So I started in 2017, 2018 to do book hauls regularly. So it's not really 6 years, it's more 4 years and a bit. But still, it's all the book hauls that I ever filmed since I've been on BookTube. And I made a list of the books that I didn't read. How many books did I haul and how many books did I read? And then what I thought I'd do is I pick a couple of books from this unread list, and I do that maybe twice a year or something, and try to, catch up with the book hauls that I previously filmed. I don't want to do something like every month, but I thought, the 6-year mark is a good way of writing everything down that I've bought in those 6 years. I'm repeating myself. You know what I mean. I'm not sure what I'm going to do going forward, because I stopped with the counting after April this year, 2022. So I will have a look how this works, whether I actually read the books. And maybe going forward, I will do something different. Anyway, but the numbers, I love numbers. So I, in total, showed you 291 books. So those are all the books I hauled. Between the first book haul, I think December 2017, and April, the last one I counted, April 2022. And from those, I have 66 books unread, which is a little more than 20%. I don't think that's too bad, but there are a couple of years that are worse than others for some reason. Let me just check whether that's not that I'm saying anything that's not true. Yes, the worst year was 2021. I hauled almost 100 books, and a third of them, 32, are unread. So I picked, for this occasion, I picked 2 from this year, or even 3 from that year, because that's a year I have to catch up the most. So anyway, the 6 books that I picked, sort of for each year 1 book, even though it's not from that year, is, first of all, I have no idea why I haven't read this. Penelope Fitzgerald, The Blue Flower, which is a historical fiction about a famous German poet and philosopher called Novalis. And she writes a fictionalized life account of it. And I love that type of book. I really enjoyed other works by her. So this is the oldest from the pile. I bought this in 2018, so that's 4 years ago. And I have no idea. I just forgot about it, I guess, because sometimes books end up in the regular bookshelf, and then Yeah. Anyway, so this is the first one I picked. The second one is a nonfiction. Again, no clue why I haven't read it, and I can only come up with the thing. I forgot about it, and that is The Morning They Came for Us, Dispatches from Syria by Janine Di Giovanni. She's a reporter, and I will just read you the blurb. In May of 2012, Janine Di Giovanni traveled to Syria, marking the beginning of a long relationship with the country as she began reporting from both sides of the conflict. So she talks about, obviously, people, in that war and what happened to them. And I bought this one in 2020. No, I'm confused. Still not used to this whole book revisit. 2019. Yeah, in 2019, so 3 years ago. So this is on the list. The next three, I think, are from, no, their first one, yeah, like I said, just bear with me. 2020. Another nonfiction, Rebecca Solnit, The Faraway Nearby. If you follow my channel, you know that I really, really like her work. Rebecca Solnit, she writes a lot. She's an essayist, a lot about feminism, but also memoir type things. And this is also about memories, the story we tell each other. So I really enjoy her work, and it's not even a very big book. So I have, again, no idea why I didn't, which I shouldn't repeat because it's true for all those books. I just have no clue why I didn't read them. So this is on the list. Then I have the next three are all from 2021, and that is that year that I just mentioned, where I have hauled 100 books, almost 99, and a third of them are unread, 32. So I thought that is the year that I need to, pick books. And the first one is about the disappearance of a child, The Golden Child, or not The Golden Child by Claire Adam. And I thought June is also Caribathon. You're probably familiar with that readathon where you try to read Caribbean literature. It runs from the 8th of June to the 18th. And this is a Caribbean author, and it is about a story of two brothers, and one disappears, and then what happens. I bought this. I remember buying this for last year's Caribathon, and I didn't get to it. So for once, I know why I didn't read it. I just didn't get to it. So it ended up on the unread Caribbean literature pile. And June of the next year is a good time to pick this one up. Then we go to nonfiction again. Paola Ramos, Finding Latinx, In Search of the Voices Redefining Latino. In Search of the Voices Redefining Latino Identity. And I bought this one for the Hispanic Heritage Month or Latinx Heritage Month last year. And again, like with the Golden Child, I just didn't get to it. It sounded really interesting. It is just what it says on the tin. Paola Ramos travels through the country, and the country is the US, talking to people who identify as Latinx, trying to redefine this identity. That sounded fascinating back then, and it still sounds fascinating. And even though the next, Latinx Heritage Month is only later in September, I think I said November just a couple of minutes ago. I meant September 2021. But I don't want to wait that long, or at least I want to put it on the pile now already to read it. Oh, I should probably also say it's not that I'm picking these 6 books and promising myself or planning on reading them all in June. No, I know already that is not going to work. So it's just, for now, I pick those 6, and then maybe in the second half of the year, I will check in again with this BookHaul Revisit, the old, the TBR. Heidi has this expression, her ancient TBR, and that's in fact what it is. So it's not that you think I'm going to read all these books in June. No. And the last one, we go to fiction again, and that is You People by Nikita Lalvani, a book about an Italian restaurant in London, Pizzeria Vesuvio, and the restaurant's owner, Julie, runs a mysterious operation that promises to help anyone in need, including the illegal immigrants who run the kitchen. And then there is 19-year-old Nia, and she turns to Julie after running away from her family in Wales. So it's about immigration. That's a topic that really interests me. I remember buying this book. It was one of the last books I bought in Holland, when the bookstores were still open back then in 2021. Yes, the bookstores were open in Holland, even though we had a lockdown here. But this is one of the last books I bought, and I was just drawn in by the cover, and then I read the blurb, and I thought, oh, immigration, that interests me. And then, of course, it ended up on the pile that I will now forthwith call my ancient TBR pile. I hope you don't mind, Heidi, that I'm just stealing your expression. But anyway, so this one is also on the pile of 6. And that's why in the thumbnail I showed you 6 books. Because that's not all the books that I haven't read, unfortunately, but that's the books from the pile of 66 unread books that I picked for now. So that is my version of a book haul revisit. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know if you read any of the books that I picked. So maybe tell me which one to prioritize. I certainly want to prioritize the Caribbean book because of Caribathon, but maybe you've read any of the other books. Again, thank you very much for watching. Looking forward to your comments as always, and I'll see you all soon in the next one.